Come on in, come on in. Come on in, come on in. Yo, the Floyd, what's good, bro? Yo, sick, what's good? Can y'all hear me? Audio good? Just doing a check real quick before I get it. Iron Fist, what's good? Raflo, Playbox, what's good? What's good, y'all? Hey, can y'all hear me? Loud and clear? All right, cool. Appreciate that, sick. Duran, what's good? Hey, man, we're gonna talk about some things tonight. Vic, was good? Was good? Chief, Night Star, what's good, man? Appreciate that. I'm gonna finish tweeting this stuff out. Uh, get everybody in here, and then we're gonna have a grown up conversation about gaming. I've been gone for about a week. I'm back in town. Immortal, I got you, brother. I got you. Ryan Landis, what's good, brother? Hope everybody doing good, man. Yeah, we're gonna talk about some things. I've been gone for about a week, and I come back, and I'm hearing a lot of reckless talking out there. I see, a lot of my PlayStation brethren are scared out in the streets. A lot of Xbox dudes running wild. Crazy. We're gonna talk about this stuff. Quanvo was good, brother. Appreciate that. Big facts, Immortal Black. My man said Xbox brand will forever be dog shit. Hey, man. Ryan, I did hear the news. We're gonna talk about a lot of that news. We're gonna talk about that news tonight. We're gonna keep it honest. I'm here to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, and that's how we're gonna keep it. Young boy Gip was good. Almighty Spartan guy, what's up, brother? Yeah, so we gonna talk about it tonight, man. I left for about a week. Been gone traveling, with work, taking care of some stuff, and so I've been on, trying to get away from Twitter a little bit, and just oh man, shit just went crazy once I left. At least I feel like it. My man, transformational gaming. My man called me Joseph Donald Trump Wayland H Town. Big facts. Big facts. Hey man, I'm trying to just pay $750 worth of taxes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm about to go in too, man. And here's the thing, right? Um, the Dark Lord Fusion, what's good, brother? What's good? What's good? Um, so right when I left, I believe Microsoft purchased um, ZeniMax, which includes Bethesda, for what, $7.5 billion, which is it's a large sum of money. I applauded them. That's good. I'm glad they finally decided that gaming is worth spending some money on, because as you guys know, for the last what, shit, 4 5 years, these guys didn't invest anything, and that's how they ended up um, pretty much in last place. At some point in time, they gave up on gaming for them to say, "Look, we're not going to invest anything." I mean, I think they started off strong. We know the whole debacle that happened with Dunny D. We got a console for you. The rest is history. But ever since then, Phil Spencer has been at the wheel, and Xbox guys have been saying everything such as exclusives doesn't matter, games doesn't matter. It's all about services. It's all about controllers. It's all about subscriptions. It's about you know, communicating with your fan base, going to fan fest, shaking hands, and all the other stuff. Everything to keep it from being about the games, because we know Xbox just doesn't have the games, and that's just kind of what it is. Xbox doesn't have the games. Um, and so in the meantime, Sony's was out here not only providing you first party games, but providing you with second party games and third party marketing deals to some of the biggest games. And I understand it's 7.5 billion for one company that has a bunch of technology, it has a bunch of studios, and it has a bunch of IPs. But when we pull back the curtain on this deal and you look and see exactly what they have, right? Come to find out, not according to me, but according to Jeff Grubb and a couple other people, is Bethesda had been struggling. A lot of their IPs were mid at best. I mean, a lot of them were low rated, some of them mid. The best games they had was Doom Eternal and Doom. And those games, while they're good games, they're not system sellers. Nobody buys a Xbox or a PlayStation to play Doom. And I'm not trying to, that's no damage control. That's just calling it what it is. It's a great game, right? But it's not what Microsoft needed to push, to be up there with the Forzas and the Halos and the Gears. And I think that's what most gamers are looking to have. You know what I'm saying? And so I understand why it's a big deal because Microsoft has the money, but Microsoft has been having the money. They just all they did was spend what they hadn't been spending. And you would think about it, right? Sony purchased, I think a couple of years ago, they purchased Insomniac for $220 million, not billion, but $1 million. And what did that come with? That came with a peace of mind that you are going to be getting not only some great high quality content, but their IPs that they have two games ready for next generation's launch. Let that sink in. We are at the cusp. We're like literally 50 days away from next generation, from having these consoles in our homes. Insomniac has two games, not one, but two, ready for launch. Two. That means they had multiple teams working on two different projects at one. As a matter of fact, you might as well say three different projects because the guys ended up remastering Spider-Man for PlayStation 5. They ended up remastering that whole game. So that's a team in itself. So when you think about it, there's three potential IPs that they were working on at once, and they have them ready for launch. Now, for the sake of argument, I'm going to combine Miles Morales, Spider-Man Miles Morales, and Spider-Man the remaster from the PS4. I'm going to just combine those. Let's say two IPs ready for launch. That's a good fucking deal. They didn't have to wait 5 years, 6 years. These guys got bought, and within 2 years, they were ready to crank out two brand new IPs. That's some big shit. That's some good investment. That's what I like to see, right? The games. It's all about the games. You can give us 50 different studios, but if these studios don't have anything ready for the near future, what good is it? Now, again, I applauded Microsoft for finally spending money. Obviously, personally, I think they don't have the talent within the Microsoft Corporation to harness to harness the that certain it. And you guys know what I mean when I say it, right? That it. We're talking about, the Naughty Dogs, the Guerrilla Games, the Insomniacs, the Japan Studios, and the Digital Polyphony, the on and on. That certain it, where that IP reached the next level. And as good as Gears, Halo, and Forza is, those games are long in the tooth. They've been waning for years. And it shocks me that Microsoft is launching this console with no first party IP for years. People are saying Halo Infinite is going to come out at the end of next year. We don't know. I mean, it could be 2022. We don't know. At best it's next year, but will it really take just 1 year to fix a whole graphics engine, all new assets and everything? I mean, that game does not look good at all. Now, I'm not saying the game didn't run well. The game looked like it ran well. It looked like it ran at a solid, you know, 60 frames a second, which it should, with the graphics looking like that. Did not look next generation. Hell, it didn't look better than Halo 5 for most people, including Digital Foundry. So Microsoft bought, 7.5. That gives you the Dooms, the Evil Within. What else? What other the games out there it's going to give you? It's some pretty decent games, but none of those games are touching. It's not. Microsoft needs their own Spider-Man. They need their own Kratos. They need their own big, 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 big recognizable IP. And I just, $7.5 million should have did that. With 7.5 billion, not million, sorry about that, $1 billion, some can say, hey, why didn't you take, 500 million of that and buy Wolverine, buy the license to Wolverine, buy the license to X-Men, buy the license to something that would give you a bigger boost on the near future, right? If Microsoft would have came out and said, "Hey, man, we know Sony got Spider Man, and we're gonna make that up to you," bam, there you go, X Men instantly. Give me a Cyclops game. Hey, hey, we got the IP. We're finna give you a Storm game. We're finna give you a Wolverine. I mean, just Wolverine alone. I would put that up there with Spider Man. It's a recognizable character. Everyone's asking for it. Why not? As a gamer, that's what I wanted. Now I get it. Maybe it made business sense. Maybe they say, look, you know, the studios that we purchased previously were small. They weren't as big. They're going to be able to drop out some stuff in Game Pass. So so we had to do. We had to do. We spent $7 billion. We get not only the development teams, but we get the IPs they currently have, and that'll help us out, in which it will. I think within the next 4 to 5 years, that may help. Right, having a new Fallout, maybe a new Skyrim or something like that, that may help them out. But if the game is multi-plat, it won't matter. It's going to sell more and it's going to sell better on PlayStation anyway. Only because PlayStation is a worldwide brand. It's just bigger. It just is. And there's nothing Microsoft going to do that's going to help that. So I think it's time for us, personally, I think it's time for us to retire Master Chief. It's time for us to sit gears down. It's time for us to gain new IP where we can look forward to. This generation, Sony has given us so many brand new ground up IP. I mean, just think about that, man. They could take any one of those characters and just make them to, hey, look, this is going to be the new face, or this is a new franchise. We're going to, even a game like Days Gone, it wasn't critically acclaimed. It's a great game. It deserved a much higher Metacritic, but obviously, it launched with some bugs and stuff like that. But for the most part, anybody will tell you that game is a solid 85, 86 Metacritic every day. So they're already working on a sequel to that game. It's graphically demanding. It looks great. It has a great story. It's a new IP. And I think most people can relate to a new IP with it not being, a straight to the top. It's like, okay, they got something to work with. And I just don't think that Microsoft has anything to work with right now, right? Yeah, we're talking about reviving Fable, yes, but guess what? I don't know. I don't think Fable can be that face of Xbox. I just don't. Maybe too much time has passed. And that's the thing about it, right? A lot of us old head gamers, we know Halo, we know Fable, but I'm not gonna lie, man, this new generation, they don't know those games. They don't care about those games. They don't know those characters. And that's why it's a new generation. And I wouldn't consider this a failed generation for Microsoft. Yes, it's bad, but I just don't think they learned anything. I think they're trying to make up for 2013. Hey, Seuss. Hey, I agree, man. Spawn could have been exclusive to Xbox. We could have had something. But so here you go. Microsoft has what, 25, 26, 27, 8, 30, 30 studios. But how soon? These consoles launch in 50 days. How soon before we have something to show, to see? Because it's not guaranteed that any of those studios are going to be able to crank out anything higher than 69 Metacritic. We know that. We've seen it before. Hopefully, Hellblade turns out good. I think it's going to turn out good. But again, there's no guarantee. So I think, personally, I would have rather Microsoft to buy an exclusive deal or get something in the short term. When we buy these consoles, yes, we know it's going to last 5 to 6 years, maybe 7 if you're pushing it. But geez, man, and if you're not into the previous generation games, like the Xbox One games, the Xbox 360, or the original Xbox games, then what are you gonna do? And despite what most people feel, there's not. I don't believe it's a lot of people out there that say, "Hey, look, I'm gonna buy this console just to play multiplats, just to play a certain caliber of game or side piece of games." When I buy a console, it's to play all games. I don't buy it because it's just to play some games. I buy it to see, hey, look, this game has exclusives and I can play the multiplayer. So it's an all-in-one box. Plus, it plays the media if I want. You got to play the 4K movies. I mean, it's an all-in-one box. I don't buy it to say, okay, well, I'm just gonna play this one here. I'm just gonna buy it to play 2K and Madden, and then I'm gonna go and spend another $500 over here to play the big stuff. Like, what are we doing? Like, I just don't think that that's a winning strategy. I really don't. Now, think about it. As a PlayStation centrist gamer, yes, I own everything, but for the most part, I look to play on PlayStation. That's where my heart is because that's my all-in-one system. It gives me everything that I need. Now, I would love to say, hey man, I gotta buy a Xbox Series X because the new this is coming out, the new that is coming out, the new this, and I can only get it on that platform. And while I'm there, I might as well buy other games too. You see how that works? Star Garden, what's up, brother? I'm just saying that's how it works. You don't. I think like on Twitter and YouTube, right? The fanboy will say, "No, I just bought this console just to play this. I really don't play anything else." Come on, man, that's not what we're doing. And if you lying to yourself, if you say, "Well, I play all the multiplats on the Xbox because it runs better on Xbox," but then when you say, "Okay, my dude, where were you playing the first 3 years, first 4 years of the console generation?" Because if you were still on Xbox, then you lied to yourself because those were the worst place to play the multiplats. So you don't find many people saying, "Yeah, I was on PlayStation for 4 years and then I switched to the X1X because it was the best place to play the multiplat." Like, come on, man, what are we doing? That doesn't win any arguments. That doesn't win anything. One yay was good, my brother. So again, I give the applaud to Microsoft for finally doing something. Finally. But on the flip side of that, right? If we're gonna have to wait 2 to 3 years, then I believe most gamers would sit down and wait and see. They're gonna take a wait and see approach. Well, instead of getting a day one, it's not necessarily a day one must have system. I'm just gonna wait. And whenever the games come, then I'll decide if I'm gonna buy it or not. And who knows? Maybe Microsoft knows that. This is why these guys are advertising. Well, you can play 4 generation of previous games, but it's like, man, I got the world's most powerful console. I want to see it seen. I won't be able to see my 12 T flops if I'm playing Xbox 360 games, or if I'm playing Recore, or if I'm playing Phantom Dust with original assets. or Super's Lucky's Tale. Y'all see what I'm saying? Blind Archangel, what's good, brother? Always. Now y'all know I buy all the consoles. Y'all know I play on all the consoles, but that's still no cop out for Microsoft to not deliver what they should, especially being the world's richest company. This is the first time in history, and I agree with you. Quanva, I agree with you. This is the first time in history in on any gaming platform, any, even the Atari Jaguar had Alien versus Predator exclusive for its time at launch. This is the first time we're not going to have any first party IP at launch. So you're buying a future trust us. We know what we're doing. You're buying a trust us console. The Xbox Series S and the Xbox Series X is a trust me console. Trust me, we know what we're doing. We're going to deliver. Okay, we waited, what, 6, 7 years? 6, 7 years we waited. You gave us 3, 4 consoles. Then you turn around and pretty much discontinued one console after 2.5 years. So that wasn't a good investment. I mean, hell, even right now, a PlayStation 4 would still be a good investment. The games look good. It runs great. So yeah, if I couldn't get my hand on the PlayStation 5 and you own a PlayStation 4, I would just hang on to that until you can get your hand on the PlayStation 5. At this point, I wouldn't really recommend buying an X Series X. Um, Only because you will not see the benefit of it. Even now with the backward compatibility games, Digital Foundry and other outlets have said that yeah, it's not taking advantage of the AMD, what's the RDNA 2, none of the features. Backwards compatibility won't take advantage of it at all. We've been talking about this ray tracing and all this next generation technology, but come to find out, Microsoft games don't even have ray tracing day one. You got to wait for a patch. And we don't know what that patch, we don't know what the hell that patch, when that patch is going to come. Salty, what's good, brother? Appreciate you. Enrique, what's good, brother? Appreciate that. Appreciate you for stopping through. My man, Slow Mo. So, I, you know, I don't know. When you have the world's most powerful console and you have nothing to show off that console, we none of the ray tracing is going to be there day one on any of the games. You're not going to have any next generation first party games, and we all know the first party. Nobody's going to take advantage of your console like the first party. Nobody's going to take care of your product or take care of your home like you will. Heath Stevens, what's good, brother? Sam, what's good? So I don't, and I keep saying this. I can't say it anymore. I applaud Microsoft for spending $7.5 billion to help their problem. They have a lot of studios. They have access to a lot of IPs. But again, you can't really just trust Microsoft. They fumbled things in the past. They don't have a good track record with it. And it's sad that a CEO has to go on record and say, we promise not to destroy Bethesda. Those are not my words. Those are their words. Spider Silver, what's up, brother? Baked Stew, what's good? Bed Stuy, man, what's good? So again, while I applaud Microsoft for spending the 7.5 billion, I think it was. I think out of the deals, the two deals, I think Sony got the better deal with buying Insomniac because you got a studio that was able to deliver Miles Morales, Ratchet and Clank, and remaster the PlayStation 5 Spider-Man. I mean PlayStation 4 Spider-Man, and make sure it has ray tracing and all the other gadgets and the speed, the fast speeds and the other advantages that they have in that game. They were able to do all of that within 2.5 years. So you get the immediate benefit of buying someone like Insomniac. And the sad part about it is Insomniac was begging Microsoft to make a Sunset Overdrive 2. They was begging for the publisher. And Microsoft turned it down. That game could have been ready right now, ready to go for the X Series X. It could have been amazing, right? But now, we're gonna have to depend on third party, and we know what third party is gonna do. We know. We just got Madden. We just got 2K. We know what they're gonna do. They're not gonna push them 12T flops. They're gonna go to the least common denominator. And I hate to say it, but next generation, the least common denominator is the X Series S. We already see the disadvantages of that with the shorter memory and the two. So I don't even have to go in that. The developers have spoken. We will see. We will see. So again, I applaud them because Microsoft did not spend any money on gaming for 3 whole years. They sat dormant, and so now Microsoft is making up for 3 years. They're trying to catch up. They're playing catch up. And I'm gonna tell you guys this: if you sitting back thinking that Nintendo is just riding high on the Switch, just wait until they drop their next generation console. That shit's gonna take the attention away from the next Xbox and maybe even the next PlayStation. You know, fortunately for PlayStation, they got God of War 2, they got Horizon Zero Dawn 2, they got a lot of games in the near future, right? On top of Naughty's Dog replacement for Uncharted coming out, on top of supposedly the remakes of the Metal Gears and the SOCOMs and all that stuff that's cooking. You know what I'm saying? Grid, what's good, my brother? Big facts, big facts. You know me. So, I mean, they have a lot of studios, but with these studios, you got to have somebody that's over the studios, making sure that they're doing the right job. How in the hell did Halo get in the position that it's in? How did they wait, you know, 4 months before launching a console to find out that that game is trash or it's in bad shape? Why did the gamers have to see this game in that state and then say, man, what the hell is this? And then they say, well, we're sorry, we apologize. We're gonna go back and we're gonna rework some stuff and do this. If if they wouldn't have showed us that game when they showed it, that game could have been a launch game. We could have been getting that game in 50 days from now. That could have been your launch game. And I hate to say it, but looking at that game would have got a low score. And Halo doesn't deserve a low score, man. It's too big of an IP for that. If we're gonna ride this Halo thing out to the wheels fall off, we gotta let it go out to the sunset on a good note. It's like Uncharted. They made 4 major games, right? Uncharted 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then they said, you know what? That's it. We don't want to run the thing to the ground. We're gonna send Nathan Drake out on a top note. Spoiler: he has a little daughter, and he has a kid. He's ready to just retire and move on. Hey, he went out on top, the goat. But sending Master Chief out with a 50 Metacritic, 60 Metacritic game is not the way to cap off a 20 years worth of gaming. Is it not? Somebody has to be responsible for that. If it's not Phil Spencer, who is it? Aaron Greenberg, Major Nelson, who else? Somebody has to be over these studios. Who that is, I don't know. It was supposed to be what, Shannon Loftus? I don't know. And I would. I, I'm gonna say this. Halo 5 was okay. I think the multiplayer was better than the single player. I think they made some promises that didn't come to fruition with Locke and Master Chief. I think that game deserved better, but they had a chance of redeeming it. They started over with a brand new engine. They started off with 12 T flops, 16 gigs of RAM, SSD drive, all the fancy schmancy velocity engine, all the marketing terms, right? And they gave us Craig. come on, like you can't do that to your. That's just man, you can't do that. Xbox deserve better. The fans deserve better. That IP, that development team deserves better. We can't keep blaming Donnie D for stuff like that. And yes, Sony doesn't knock it out the park every time, but let's face it, their major studios that they have, their shit is good quality. You can dispute whether it's the game of the year or whether you like it or not, but you can't dispute Sony's first party quality. Hey Matrix, hey, I'm gonna get to that question, man. We're gonna talk about that real soon. Right now, I'm just leading up to what I missed over the last week when I was out of town. I saw, Microsoft made some major purchases and stuff like that. So I'm kind of leading up to where we are today. So they spent the 7.5 billion, and that's good. I think they should have did that. I do think they need to do more. But what I'd rather see them do, David Jaffe said it. Mikey Barra, former Mikey Barra from Microsoft, the executive, has said it. They have a management problem. They need to buy some management, somebody who can manage these studios and manage these teams. You got to have somebody, it's just like you're playing basketball or football. You got to have a coach. You just can't have ownership and then you say, okay, well, we got some quality players. Now we got some quality players. We're going to win a Super Bowl. No, we're going to win a championship. No, you got to have somebody to coach this talent. Somebody to sit there and say, "Hey, man, I'm gonna put you in the game here. I'm gonna take you out. You got to do that. You got to get your hands dirty." I don't think Phil is that guy. This is the same guy that said, I mean, he said so much, but I mean, he gave us Voodoo Vince. He gave us Phantom Dust with original assets. He said nobody's asking for VR. You know what I'm saying? If you listen to him to run that type of stuff, then I don't know, man. I'm kind of questioning his gaming stuff. Big facts, legacy. He said you speaking about the Clippers right now. Hey, man, I'm speaking about my Houston Rockets too. So I think they need to hire some more people, maybe a team, a separate team, right? And their only job is to go around to these studios, see where they are in their timeline and development, test the games, make sure they're up to quality graphically, gameplay wise. A person should know what a high quality game is. You should not release some trash and then say, well, we wanted, um, we got Crackdown. We want Crackdown to sit next to Halo and Gears and Forza. Like, come on, what are we doing? That's not gonna happen. That's not what we need. So I saw a lot of PlayStation guys getting up in arms over this purchase, and it kind of puzzled me because I'm like, Microsoft didn't invest anything for 3 years, and they finally decide to invest, and y'all getting shook up. Did Sony not just give you um, all these first party IPs? Did they not just basically get in bed with Square Enix and give you all these exclusive IPs exclusively for your platform? Did they not just give you multiple? This year alone, we have five Sony Game of the Year contenders. Five of them just this year alone. Does that not count for anything? Did they not just give you, um, you know, a great console for 7 years where you get the greatest games? They just gave you the collect, and with the PlayStation 5, they're giving you for free the whole collection of bangers for PlayStation for free. As long as you got PlayStation PS Plus, which most people do anyway, right? You play multiplayer games, you get it for the free games and some of the benefits. So even then, they're giving you the Uncharted, the God of Wars, to Spider-Man. They're giving you all of the best games that they've had to offer from this generation. The reason to own a PlayStation, they're giving you all of that for free. the games, and you getting shook over $7.5 billion. I mean, hell, who did they buy? Rockstar, Apple Computers. I mean, I don't understand why that would even matter. Okay, you telling me Doom Eternal is better than God of War? Is better than Spider Man? No. And I think for the most part, I mean, hell, I really do think for the most part, Doom is probably the best game out of that whole portfolio that ZeniMax have. I mean, Elder Scrolls, Skyrim. I mean, those are old games, right? And this company was already distressed. The company was already, about to lay off. They was already trying to get rid of studios and stuff. So I mean, there's no games that's coming out anytime soon. People keep saying Starfield. I don't even know what Starfield's about. I seen the trailer about what 2 years ago. It might as well be Mass Effect because we don't know what the hell it is. But people tripping over this stuff. And I think some people are, I think, when it comes to the console war, sometimes I've always said this, PlayStation Nation can be, some people in PlayStation Nation, not all, but can be sore winners. There is a such thing called a sore winner. And a sore winner is when you're winning and you don't want the other team to score not one single point. And when they score 1 point, you feel like you've lost the game. Right now in this console war, Sony is up 99-1. Microsoft scored one bucket a week ago, and y'all act like y'all lost the game. Come on, what are we doing? All of a sudden, oh my, that's the end. That's the end of PlayStation. It's over. Yeah, Microsoft's for to buy this and this and that. That's it. BMG 91, what's good? I, I, One yay, exactly what you said, right? Microsoft bought all of these studios that were distressed. The Ninja Theories, the rest of them. They bought them when they were basically going out of business. They had to help them out, so they got them for a fire sale. On top of that, the $7.5 billion that comes with a lot of technology and a lot of other things outside of the mainstream just games and studios. Like Jeff Grubb said, all of Bethesda's games, recent games, ZeniMax recent games, all of those games have underperformed. All of them did not perform the way that they should have. So I don't know. I just don't understand. To me, right? Maybe I'm not seeing something, or maybe people are seeing stuff that I don't see. But I'm looking at it like this. We got in 50 days, we're gonna have a PlayStation 5. We're gonna be playing Demon Souls. Look at this beautiful game right here. Just look at that. We're gonna be playing Demon Souls, Spider-Man, Ratchet and Clank within the launch window. Gran Turismo's in the launch window. I mean, we can just keep going on and on and on and on and on. On top of VR, on top of everything else that's coming. I mean, they announced God of War. Microsoft don't have any game to beat Spider-Man, let alone God of War 2. That's guaranteed, So next year we get not only God of War 2, we getting Horizon Zero Dawn again, 2 years back to back, current generation and next generation. Sony's giving you multiple Game of the Year contenders and winners. Ricardo Perez, we bleed green. What's good, bro? What's good? What's good? Thank you for stopping in. Mighty Mouse was good. I agree, man. Like, so if I'm Sony, I'm sitting back like, look, we just gave these bastards all these fucking exclusives. We just gave them the best time of their lives in gaming ever in history. Microsoft make one move. They didn't give you a game. They purchased a company, right? A distressed company. And PlayStation fans lost their mind. Well, if it was that easy, you know what? Sony probably shouldn't have invested money in all these studios and all these games and gave you games of the winners, games of the game of the year contenders and winners, and just bought ZeniMax and called it a day. I thought it was about the games. I thought it was about the games. I'm seeing Sony make these deals, giving us exclusive content, exclusive time, time stuff, giving you DLC, giving you everything that makes it great and treating you like a first class citizen. and you chasing after the loser stuff. I've never seen a bunch of guys chase after the loser. Every time Microsoft does something, oh my God, Sony has to counter. Sony has to do this. What more do you want besides Game of the Year winners and contenders? They giving you a brand new next generation console, a true next gen with new features, new controller, new stuff. Not some of the same old shit you've been getting. It's not a mid gen refresh. It's all new. The games they've showed you, the Ratchet and Clank, Spider-Man, Demon Souls, all this stuff. All this stuff was amazing. Everyone loved it, right? And then all of a sudden, well, those games aren't really nothing. Oh, you know what? A couple of those games are coming to PlayStation 4, therefore it's null and void. Like, what are we doing here? All of Xbox games are on fucking PC. You don't see the Xbox dudes sitting here talking about, well, our games don't count because they're on the PC. Come on, what are we doing? So that's why I say there is a such thing as a sore winner. A lot of us own all these consoles. We say, just play games on everything. But Microsoft did something good for its fan base and its company's well-being and investment, right? As a PlayStation gamer, that has nothing to do with me. Why would I care? 90% of those games are going to come to PlayStation 5 anyway. We're going to be playing the next Doom on PlayStation anyway. As a matter of fact, we're going to be playing the next Doom in VR anyway, just like we playing Doom in VR in PlayStation VR now. You just got Minecraft VR. They Xbox guys don't even have that shit. So why are we out there crying because Microsoft finally decided to invest? Did you think that they was never going to invest? Do you really want Microsoft to kill off Xbox? You don't want that. Come on. You don't want that. You want multiple platforms. You want multiple reasons to buy stuff. So again, that's why I'm not whining and crying about it because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter to me. I'm getting the best of both worlds. We got Darth Vader game VR, The Walking Dead VR, all that stuff. Xbox guys don't get because Phil said they're not asking for it. But yet you want Sony, you want Jim Ryan, you want Herman Hulst to go and chase Microsoft. When did the championship team ever chase the last place team? I don't get it. I don't get it. Why are you even worried about that? They're so far behind, it doesn't matter. I just sit up here and saw Sony tease God of War 2. I seen a handful of people talking about it. They were so busy worrying about what Microsoft is doing. Crazy stuff, man. And that sums up the great console war um, of this generation. It's going to go down in history, man. I'm telling you, it's going to go down in history. It's been some crazy shit. Crazy shit. I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen a guy with billions of dollars in the bank crying because somebody just cashed a $200 check. So, it's just crazy. But I was gone. I didn't have a chance to react to some of this stuff. Um, and now guys are saying, okay, well, some of those games are going to be on PS4. Okay. Did you not think that some games were going to be on PlayStation 4? You thought they were going to give up on 120 million install base? 110, 120 million install base? Who cares? What system do you want to play it on? 100% of Xbox games will be on Xbox One X and the OG Xbox One, the one with the Kinect. Do you see them crying about it? Do you see Xbox fans crying about it? Nope. Craig, what's good, brother? Zim. Hey, 1A, great question. My brother asked, he said, this is the golden question. Do these PlayStation 5 cross gen games look like they were held back? Listen, prior to Sony saying that that Spider-Man was going to be on the PlayStation 4, everybody was talking about how next generation it looked. It had ray tracing and the puddles and the eyes. It had the suit. Everything looked next generation. Now all of a sudden they found that little detail out. Oh, we're going to be bringing this game also to the PlayStation. Oh, all of a sudden, you know what? Yep, I knew it. I knew it didn't look next gen. I knew it was held back some kind of way. Crazy shit, man. Crazy shit. I've never seen anything like it, man. I appreciate that, Eddie, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, I've been out of town working and stuff. I'm back, and I just had to kind of talk to you guys a little bit about some of the stuff that was going on, man. I'm like, I got people calling me, "Hey, brother, what we gonna do, man? Microsoft just bought Doom and Skyrim." I'm like, okay, like okay. Immortal Black, hey man, I don't have that Cyberpunk chip. Like old girls say, they need to send me 7 Xboxes. I know y'all seen that on Twitter. The influencer was with Greg, and she basically told it what it is. Microsoft be sending them stuff, saying that she got seven. They send her 7 Xboxes, and Sony don't send her shit. Therefore, she's not repping Sony, and she don't give a fuck about them. You know. So when it boils down to it, is I do feel like sometimes there can be leaders chasing. You're chasing the wrong thing, man. At the end of the day, it's all about the games. As long as PlayStation continue to have the best games and be the platform where you can only play these best games on, or at least play them first, right? At least play them first. That's where you need to be. What if Sony launched this PlayStation 5 and say, you know what? Play PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 2, PlayStation 1 games on there. We don't have anything ready for you now, but in a couple of years, we may have God of War ready. We may have some other shit ready. Y'all will flip out. Microsoft did that to their fan base. And they said, you know what, that's okay. We fine with that. And y'all want Jim Ryan and Herman Hulst to follow these guys? Y'all want them to do that to you? Like, come on. Y'all see the title on the screen. Ragnarok is coming. We finna get the battle of Kratos versus Thor. Come on now. They just gave you Final Fantasy 16 exclusive for your platform. They just gave you Demon Soul exclusive for your platform. Demon's Souls. You got Hitman VR 1, 2, and 3 exclusive to your platform. All of a sudden, none of that stuff matters anymore, right? Come on, man. PlayStation Nation, what are we doing? We're better than this, man. We are. We're better than this. We can't follow the losers. We can't. Godfall, Sackboy, Ghost of Tsushima Legends, on and on and on, right? We got, freaking The Last of Us 2 multiplayer, factions coming. It's so much. It's to the point where it's not really even about the games anymore. The people that are disgruntled, I don't think they're not even talking about the games. I just think they really don't want Microsoft to be good, which is disingenuous. We should all want Microsoft to be good. We should we should hope and pray that Microsoft have the type of games that Sony been delivering. You know how good gaming would be? I mean, Nintendo over there killing it with their games, right? Even if they are old games and remasters, they still killing it. They stay in their lane. Look, Nintendo guys don't worry about nobody. They stay in their lane. They play their games. Nintendo got them sold up. I just don't understand, my brother. I don't understand why we chasing the people without the games. You want the T flops? Sony just showed you for 7 straight years what they can do with 1.8 T flop versus 6 T flop, and they killed it. They destroyed it. And you still wondering, well, man, I want a couple extra T flops. Where are my T flops at? Come on, man. What are we doing? What are we doing? We better than this. Guys, we're better than this. PlayStation Nation, we're better than this. So we got, you know what? We got that going on. So I missed that. Then today, come to find out, well, we already knew this. Both Sony and Microsoft has given their consoles into the hands of, into the hands of some influencers, Digital Foundry, publishers, and all kind of stuff, or all kind of other people. Um, I mean, you got Travis Scott sitting there at home playing PlayStation 5. Peter Zeke, what's good, my brother? Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not talking to anybody individually, right? This is not anybody individually. I'm not talking about Porter Rock. I'm not talking about anybody else. I'm just talking about collectively PlayStation Nation. This is bigger than just one person. This is bigger than one person. I think every time I feel like this. I feel like a lot of gamers feel like it's okay for Microsoft to make all the money and to do stuff, but it's not okay for Sony to make money and do stuff. And Sony is the one that need the money. Microsoft got godly money, and they're the ones that's able to just go out and make money and put games any and everywhere. But Sony can't do that. Sony can't make any money. They can't put good games in PlayStation Now or in PlayStation Plus because then people are gonna say, "Oh, see, they're going in the same step as Microsoft. They just doing what Microsoft." Like, come on, man, let them people live. As long as they keep giving me them bangers, that's all I care about. That's all I care about. It's all about the games. It has always ever been about the games. This is why Nintendo has always outlived every single competitor. Starting back from 84 all the way to now, they've outlived all the competition. Now, Sony came in the game, gave them a run for their money, and set them in line and ran them off the freeway onto the, off the on ramp to their own little street. Sony did that. And so ever since Sony came into the game, man, they've been dominating. They've been dominating. Even last generation, they were able to fix their mistakes within 3 years, come back to dominate and win a generation. Um, Nintendo was able to come back this generation and come back and surpass Xbox. Why are we crying about some shit that may or may not happen 10 years from now? All these ZeniMax games that were struggling in studios, y'all think Microsoft have some special gurus over there that can actually get these guys to make some great games? Come on now. They have $1.6 trillion and got their ass ate up alive this generation by both Nintendo and Sony. I hate to say it, but ZeniMax ain't gonna fix that. Nothing but talent, time, and direction can do that. And right now, you know, all of a sudden, we're finna talk about it. All of a sudden, what's up, Lionel Bolgen, my brother? All of a sudden, exclusives matter, right? PlayStation Nation been riding high on exclusives. Xbox dude's been downplaying exclusive ever since, saying it was anti-consumer and it was this and it was that. Y'all remember when we got Spider-Man on PlayStation 5 exclusive? That was anti-consumer. They boycotted. Oh, we boycotted. We got Miles Morales exclusive on the platform. Oh, boycott. We got Final Fantasy 7 remake exclusive PlayStation. Oh, we boycott. We got Final Fantasy 16. We got. I can keep going naming all these games. Neo. We got. Just on and on and on, bro. All of these fucking exclusives that only PlayStation dudes get. Right. I'm leaving. I'm leaving PC out of this. PC is a whole different realm, right? We're talking about consoles. I don't ever think that PC should be in the same conversation as console because I'm spending $3.99 for my console. You spending $14.99 for your graphics card alone. So how in the hell you shouldn't even be in this conversation. So I be giving PC dudes that mush that with the hand you just mush them in the face. Get out of my conversation. This between consoles. So we just got all of these fucking exclusives. All of these marketing deals. You got Call of Duty. We just got through playing fucking Call of Duty exclusive. The next we just got through playing this the Black Ops. The new one that's coming out. We just got through playing the alpha the other day. Exclusively on your platform. And you whining about they trash ass console. Come on, what are we doing? Cold War, yeah. Sorry about that, man. Cold War. Y'all know how I get when I get in my little mode, man. We just got Ghost of Tsushima. They said, oh, y'all ain't got no multiplayer game. Guess what? We getting factions and we getting the Ghost of Tsushima multiplayer. Come on now. Sony doing everything you asking them to do, but you want them to just. You can't let the console war and somebody else not having something overtake what they've been giving you, man. Like, I don't get it. You in a whole different fight. That's a fight I don't want to be in, bro. I don't want to be in that fight. I want my Xbox dudes to shine. I want them to have some good games on their platform. I really do. We all need to be able to eat. It's the console war. It's not fun when day in and day out you just mashing, you just keeping your foot on their neck, and there is nothing that they can do to come back from that. Last December, at the Game Awards, when Phil came out, announced the X Series X, he showed Hellblade playing on it or whatever. I said that's the Microsoft we needed because that shows confidence, and then that means they're gonna pump out some games and they're gonna be confident. Their fan base is gonna be confident, and we can make this console war a little bit more interesting. But every day, if you walk out, Xbox has no games. There's nothing positive about Xbox. It's like it gets boring. What's the song on Five Heartbeats? It gets lonely at the top. We got Grand Blue. Appreciate that one, yeah. We got Grand Blue Relink. We got Ghost of Tsushima Legends, Factions, Destruction All Stars, Gran Turismo 7, Godfall, Demon Souls, Guilty Gear Strive, Sackboy. All of these multiplayer games now. Guess what? We didn't have that. Supposedly, right? The fan base said, "Oh, y'all don't have any multiplayer games." Well, now you got them. They said, "Oh, when your controller die after 2 hours." Guess what? Now you got 3.5 times the battery. They fixed that problem. Oh, well, Sony won't allow crossplay. Guess what? They fixed that. You got crossplay. What else? What else do you want these motherfuckers to do? They giving you the games. They giving you the fastest console, right? They invested smart. All of these developers are saying that the PlayStation 5 is the best platform to develop for. It's easy. It's great. This is why they're able to crank out so many good, high quality graphical games. Not only running at 4K, but running at 60. You wanted options last generation. Well, why can't they just give us 60? I just want 1080p 60. They forget the 4K. Well, guess what? Now they giving you that shit, and you still whining? That's the disconnect that I have with gamers, right? And I'm not going to say gamers, but fanboys. It's okay to be a fanboy and joke and do what we do, right? That's what we do. But you can't go crying over somebody else's spoils. They haven't produced one single game. But you're crying because they bought something. Who cares? Microsoft, the world's richest company, they could buy Nintendo and Sony. So don't focus on their money. You focus on what your platform is giving you. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just focus on what they're giving me. And until the competition get what I'm getting, I could care less. And on that note, we're going to go ahead and talk about today's news. So, for months, we've been getting shit from the Xbox fan base saying that Sony's PlayStation 5 has 825 terabyte drive in it. It's low. They only has we got a terabyte. We only got 825. Well, guess what? Come to find out, these motherfuckers only have 800 gigabytes because the operating system takes up 200 gigabytes of that. And guess what? On top of that, The external drive, the $250 1 terabyte external drive for the Xbox Series X and the Xbox Series S, they're going to steal 100 gigabytes of that away from you. And they're saying, well, we have to do that because we have what you call um, what's the feature where you can pause this game and move to the next game. Y'all know what I'm saying, so I don't even have to worry about it. Yeah. So that I would rather have my hard drive space so I can install 5 or 6 more games, not this. Well, just quick resume shit. Yeah, I get it. It's a feature, but man, I'd rather have the space. But more importantly, I'd rather have the games to take up that space. I will not be installing a bunch of current and last generation games and previous generation games on my SSD drive. Like, why? I spent the last 7 years playing this shit. Trust me, there's no old games that I want to play. So you showing me Halo Master Chief Collection, and you showing me Forza 3, you showing me other old games, Voodoo Vince and Recore running on the Xbox Series X is not doing me any favors. Like, stop doing that shit. Show me the new. I'm spending $500 more than that when you think about all the accessories and everything. But I'm spending all this money. And think about it, just like Lionel Bolger just said. Well, if it's 200 gigs that they're removing, that they're going to take it for the operating system, that means if you buy Xbox Series S, you're only getting 500 gigabytes, and 200 of that is being taken. So to me, it looks like the Xbox Series S, yeah, it's $299 price tag, but you're going to turn around and spend another $250 on an external drive just to have some games. That's another way they're making it mandatory. They're kind of tricking you, right? They're giving you a small drive, but they know it's going to be mandatory for you to install your games. You're going to have to go and buy that drive to another $250. I'm just saying, grid. You know I'm telling the truth, brother. So you buy that Xbox Series S, and you only have 250, maybe 300 gigabytes left. That's what? That's how many games? That's probably about 4 or 5 games once you install COD, Fortnite. I mean, those both of those games are 100 gigabyte easy, if not more. We're talking about 2 games. Now I get it. Immortal Black, I get it. Microsoft is playing to their strengths. I get it. Listen, Microsoft got the T flops. They need to hype the fuck out of T flops because that's their strength. But I hate to say it, but I don't know, man. Like, I don't think that's gonna work this time. It didn't work with the Xbox One X. I don't think that's gonna work this generation, right? People was hyped on the 6T flops, and she got mollywopped by the OG PS4 Slim and the PS4 Pro. Hey, Jesus Pena said, "Yo, Jaydub, Mike Tyson and Roy Jones. Hey, man, that wouldn't even worth asking. You already know Tyson. One punch. That trailer was the most viewed trailer from the whole PlayStation event. Sony did that. They did that for you. So I don't know. But nobody's talking about that, right? Nobody wants to talk about that hard drive space. They was giving Sony shit. Oh, you only got 825 gigs. And guess what? Sony's operating system is a lot lighter than Microsoft's. I heard the PlayStation 4's operating system was 90 gigs. Well, Xbox is 200 gigs just for the operating system. We all know, if you got a PC, we all know how heavy that operating system is. Sony uses a Unix based operating system. Uh, they're gonna obviously show us this new operating system that they got, that Sony got. It's supposed to be, really graphically pleasing and stuff like that. Tommy Bull, my brother, what's good? What's good? Thank you for coming rocking out. Danny Reed says, Jay, what TV you rocking next gen? Hey man, I got nothing but LG OLEDs. In my next generation TV I already have is a Sony Z9G. It's a 8K TV. Um, and in my game room, I'm gonna go ahead and get the Sony Z. No, it's an X900H. I'm gonna get an 85-inch model. The Best Buy got a sale going on right now for like 24 to 27.99. I'm gonna rock with that. It's 120 hertz TV. It has HDMI 2.1, so I'm gonna rock that. Man, I'm gonna do that within the next couple of weeks. My goal is to get two PlayStations, the Slim and the regular, put them in two different rooms. So we gonna rock with that. Yeah, that's what we gonna do. Yeah. So I don't know. So it's gonna. You know what? Once the kids get that Xbox, we're just assuming, right? Kids this generation at Christmas gonna want an Xbox Series S. Let's face it. That's what most people say. Oh, but it's 299. Partially, I think the Xbox One S is going to be maybe 199, maybe 150 bucks. I think that's going to be the big seller. Uh, that's just me. Casuals like that, they go for the price. Parents go for the price. A lot of them don't know the difference between an Xbox One X, Xbox Series S. I mean, we saw the whole debacle. People going out there buying Xbox One X's thinking as it was the Xbox Series X. You know what I'm saying? Legacy 416. Appreciate that, brother. Yeah, I'm a definitely cop that. I heard some good reviews about that. I heard the blacks are almost as close. I mean, it's really close to OLED levels. Close. I didn't say it was, but close. Big Cloud Gaming, what's good, brother? Glad you were able to rock with me and join me. Hope your day going good. But so far, just to catch you up, I've been out of town for the last week. I've covered Microsoft buying ZeniMax. Um, I've covered the stuff today with the hard drive space, the operating system being bloated, 200 gigabytes. For the Xboxes, that's crazy. And even if you buy an external drive, they still take 100 gigs of that away from you. So that's crazy. We did talk about PlayStation Nation wanting Sony to follow Microsoft on the losing end of stuff. We talked about that. And now we're just going to, kind of keep talking about a little bit more stuff that's coming up here in the near future. We did see Travis Scott and some other influencers and stuff like that. They have the PlayStation 5 playing it. I wish it was me. No, I do not have a Cyberpunk 2077 chair. I'm not willing to go to the lengths that other guys go to get it either. So I'm good. I got my PS5 and my X Series X secured. I'm good. The narrative now has been changing. We know it. The narrative has been changing to, for 7 years it's been exclusives doesn't matter. Exclusives are anti-consumer. All of a sudden now, Microsoft bought ZeniMax. They got Bethesda. Guess what? All these games coming gonna be exclusive. It's like, why would Microsoft is a company about money, right? They're there to make money. Why in hell would they say, you know what? The largest install base out there is the PlayStation platform. We want to make sure that 120 million people, we don't have access to 120 million of those people's money. They're like, come on, what are we doing here? If it didn't happen when they had the shitty games, it damn sure ain't gonna happen when they get the good games. They want those games to sell a lot. And I get it. As much as people love to think that Microsoft loves them, Microsoft is all about the money. If they loved you, they wouldn't have stopped investing for 3 whole years. They would have been giving you some good quality games. They would have given you PSVR. They would have gave you VR like they promised you. Like they're not just gonna stop from making a bunch of money just because you think they love you. That's not what they do. Rome Rush, what's good, my brother? Thank you for stopping by, man. Appreciate that. Like seriously? Yeah, these games are gonna continue to be multiplayer. Matter of fact, all of those Bethesda games sold better on PlayStation than it did Xbox. And I know people like to say, well, when they start a new generation, it's really you starting over from scratch. No, you're not. You're never starting from scratch. That 120 million install base is generally going to keep going with you. Half the people are going to continue playing on PlayStation 4, until time come where they can afford the PlayStation 5 or get their hands on it, and they're gonna move over. People are not switching and swapping anymore. And I'm gonna tell you this: PlayStation Nation definitely not swapping over to Xbox. How you go from having Game of the Year winners and contenders to not having no games? Like, come on, what are we doing here? Yeah, good point, Lionel. We found out last year that Phil Spencer and I believe Satya Nadella went and proposed to Nintendo and to Sony to put Game Pass on it, and they both turned them down. Just like we found out previously, Halo Gears, Halo and Gears was offered to PlayStation, and Sony turned it down. So all of a sudden they love you when they tried to give your IPs away. Brown Sugar Candy was good, was good. Thank you for coming in and rocking with me. Appreciate that. So all of a sudden they love you. Come on, that's not there. Microsoft is about money. They're about that green. You don't get to be one of the world's most richest companies by saying, yeah, we want to restrict this. Microsoft trying to reach 2 billion gamers. You can't get to 2 billion without getting to 120 million first. So, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Yeah, Spider Silver, hey man, those guys are in their own little bubble. I don't speak on those guys, right? Some people are in it. They only listen to Xbox only podcasts, and they live in a little shelter, and they ignore any and everything is counter to whatever. Post up, my brother. He in here talking about why you lying so much. Oh man, hey man, I had to come and undo all that damage you did for the last week. You got some of my pony brothers about to jump ship and jump off a cliff. That was post up doing all that. Big facts, brown sugar, man. I'm just telling you, it just kind of felt really bad me seeing some of my PlayStation folks out there like that. Like, why y'all chasing? Like, y'all really want Sony to chase the people in the last place? Like, is that what we doing? Like, come on, man. Y'all bugging. Let PlayStation guys breathe. And Post to tell you this. I tell them all the time, man. When Xbox doing good, gamers do good, right? We should want to applaud Microsoft doing positive things and buying studios and providing great development teams and most of all, great games. Just like we got recently, I bought on the Nintendo Switch Ori and the Will of the Wisp. It was a great game on Xbox, right? It's an even greater game on the Nintendo Switch. It's like it's made for that platform. Runs at 60 frames a second, looks good, looks great on that small screen. It's good. Yeah, post up, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. I couldn't wait to come back, man. I gotta patch up my ship, man. Shit like I was on the Sea of Thieves ship with a bunch of holes in it and nobody patching the boat. It was crazy. I can't leave for 1 week without shit going haywire, man. Post up was out there having a good time. He didn't have me to deal with. He was out there putting all that fake news in the streets. Got my ponies ready to jump shit. Hey, I just let him rock. I just let Post up rock. Now y'all know why I can't let him just sit there and do what he do, man. I gotta counter him. If not, he dangerous, man. I'm telling you. You can't let Post up run wild, man. He gonna recruit all your soldiers. That shit was funny. I said, man, let me hear up and get back here and have a little podcast and try to talk some sense into my fellow PlayStation gamers, man. What the hell y'all doing? So if you saw me on Twitter today, y'all know I had to go out there and make my presence felt and known and let them know that I was back and I wasn't having it no more. Y'all not finna run PlayStation Nation off the freeway. But yeah, man, we should want Xbox to do good because when Xbox is doing good, that gives more incentive for PlayStation to continue to do what they doing, right? That means getting that exclusive time deals, getting exclusive content, um, and stuff like that. Trust me, Nintendo Switch. Y'all might think that they're not, they're in their own lane and they're not bothering anybody. They're gonna come out with this next generation Switch, and that shit is gonna wreak havoc on the industry. Trust me. Never count Nintendo out. I've seen it. In over 30 years of their gaming, I've seen Nintendo outlast everybody. More powerful, better games, everything. I've seen it all, man. Nintendo is they're silent but deadly. I ain't gonna lie, man. I was really upset, man, when Halo came out like that and they delayed it because I'm like, damn, that was the reason. That was the number one reason you should um, buy Xbox. The reason I bought the Xbox 360 back in the day, Gears of War. I tell everybody that. When I saw that commercial, Gears of War, yep, that was it. I gotta have it. Never seen a creature that big on screen. I've never seen some shit like that. I gotta have it. Day one, and I was on it day one. Noah, he talking about Xbox taking over. Hey man, y'all had y'all fun, man. Y'all had y'all fun. I'm back now. I'm back. Enough of scaring my fellow ponies. I did enough damage. Now I gotta patch this ship. But we're gonna be all right, man. We're gonna be all right. We got the PlayStation 5 out in the wild. Travis Scott, he showed a picture of the controller and everything. He's about to play it. I do want to see the next generation games being played. I don't want to see the current gen games being played. And I get it. Microsoft shit ain't ready yet, right? It won't be ready for a while, so they had no choice. I get that. But that goes back to my point, right? Sony is providing you with next generation games. They look next generation. They got next generation features. Everything from the controller to the speed. Being able to boot from the menu, the main menu, into actual gameplay within 2 seconds. Like, come on, man. Now that's some speed. Ryan Landis said, "You and Post Up are like Professor X and Magneto, friends and enemies." Big facts. That's my brother, man. I love him. That's my brother. Craig Harris said, "Who is Travis Scott?" Hey, man, Travis Scott is a rapper, man, from H Town, man. Yeah, that's the home right there. That's family. I think wasn't don't Travis Scott was going with one of the Kardashians or something like that. Had a baby by one of the Kardashians, something like that. I don't know. But yeah, that's what that is. So it's a big deal. He did a concert in Fortnite and like broke the record. He had his whole Astro World tour inside of Fortnite. That's how big that name is. I know a lot of people not into a lot of the newer rap and stuff like that, but yeah, that's big shit. He got his own hamburger. Isn't like from McDonald's or Burger King or some shit? You go and say I want the Travis Scott, and like they give you the combo. It's crazy. It's crazy out here. Yeah, the man just it was McDonald's. He said, what I'm saying, just put a couple of pickles on that shit and throw some mustard on it. We're gonna call that the Travis Scott burger. And before you know it, everybody named Mama want a Travis Scott burger. They treating it like it's that Popeye's chicken sandwich. Y'all remember that? Now I don't think they would make a Travis Scott game, but what I think is because Sony has the marketing deal with Fortnite for next generation. I think a new season will come and maybe have Travis Scott in there. Maybe they'll do something with Sony and you got to remember Sony. I think the dude is signed with Sony Records, so that makes sense, right? You got an artist. You into movies, music videos, all that stuff, just in video games. All that makes sense. All that makes sense. You're gonna be seeing more of that stuff. Hell, if Michael Jackson was living, I'm pretty sure Sony would leverage that. They have fucking. They should have had a new Moonwalker game. That's what they should have had, man. I would have bought that shit. Yeah, but it's just so many different avenues that Sony can go with it. But at the end of the day, man, as long as they keep giving me the games that I want and the new IP and the new experiences and games that I can't play anywhere else, whether it's VR or whether it's exclusive to PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5, and it's good, high quality, I'm okay. I'm there. I will be there. The moment they stop giving me that stuff, I'm gone. I'm gone. Maybe I'll just go to Nintendo and PC, or I'll just wait until Xbox games come. Eventually they're gonna have some good games. You don't end up with almost 30 studios and not come up with something, right? They cooking some up over there, and I think a lot of people keep sleeping on what Sony's been doing, right? Because all the attention has kind of been like, well, we're ahead. We keep looking back. We keep seeing what the competition is doing. It's like, man, just focus what's on your plate. Tommy Bull, yes, it is true. PlayStation 5 has been showing off all their ray tracing in all their games, even 60 frames a second, right? In all their games, they have a 60 frames a second option. A lot of their games are 4K and 60, and so again, Mark Cerny said, "I developed this console with developers in mind, so they can get up to speed as quick as possible." This is why you're able to see so much content come out from Sony, showing you the ray tracing, showing you the speeds of the SSD, showing you the benefits of the DualSense controller, showing you all of this stuff, right? Whereas Microsoft, the Xbox, they were late getting their development kits out, like by a year. So the ray tracing is going to have to come later. They're struggling on the content side. So now I'm one of those people like this, guys. Personally, as someone who owned multiple 2080 Ti's, I still don't think ray tracing is the end all be all. Do you really want? I mean, it can be impressive when done right, but at the expense of a lot of performance, I don't know. I think we can still get great looking games that look astounding without ray tracing. I think ray tracing is one of those things where the PC crowd kind of dabbled in it, and then it's like, okay, we got to do ray tracing because they got it. You know, if Nvidia would have never came out with the RTX cards and highlighting ray tracing, nobody would have cared about ray tracing because nobody knew what ray tracing was before then. But people want the latest and the greatest, even at the benefit of performance. So this is why some games you will have 30 frames a second with ray tracing, or it would be a sub 4K resolution with ray tracing. But as long as the option there, I'm cool, right? You give a person an option with ray tracing and all this stuff in there at the at 30 frames. Give them that option. There's some people that's willing to play at 30 frames on the next generation console with all the bells and whistles. Yeah, I may be one of those. I'll try it out. But I think for the majority of people, is that 60 frames you got to give them a 60 frame mode because they've been begging for it for so long. I agree, Dark Lord. There'll be a new technique and something else that's going to, take over ray tracing. I don't know if it's ray tracing or something. It's going to be something else new. Sam Watson said they need to show more about the console, but I also believe Sony has stuff up their sleeves and continue. I agree. They're going to show it. I think maybe this week. I think they said they're giving it to some. Sony already went on the record last week saying that they're giving their consoles to some influencers and other people to do stuff. So I think people want to see the teardown of it, just like the Digital Foundry and stuff like that. Um, I do also believe that Sony wants the narrative to be about the games because that's where they thrive. I believe Microsoft wants the narrative to be about the T flops and the power because that's where they thrive. They two different strategies, right? You cater to your strengths, and I'm of the nature that games will always win. Games will forever win. You can give me all the ray tracing, you can give me all that shit, but if it's a dog shit game, it ain't gonna matter. By the way, this game right here, mark my word, this game is going to sell a lot of copies. This Demon Souls. This game here, so far, it's been one of the most eye candy showcase pieces for the PlayStation 5. Somebody said pad tracing. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever all that stuff is, throw it together in a great game, and I'll be okay with it. A lot of you guys remember that Rise Son of Rome, even to this day, is still a good, great eye candy showpiece game, and that game was built on 1.3 T flops. So it's not necessarily with the power; it's about the quality of the development team and what they can put their talents to. You know, that game ran at 720p, but it still surpassed a bunch of 1080p games. Yep, I agree. Just like the Order 1886, another showcase piece game. I believe every console in the new generation has to have a showpiece game. It has to have one or two titles that just really rings out and show you what that system is about. You know, I think Killzone Shadowfall was that game for PlayStation 4. And I'm not saying the quality of the game itself, as far as like whether you like it or not. I'm talking about a showpiece graphically. That game, even today, is still just amazing. Killzone Shadowfall, Rise Son of Rome was a showcase piece for Xbox. This generation, I think it's going to be Dark Souls um, and Spider Man. Those are two games that's just Now we have what you call launch games, and then we have the launch Windows game. Those are games within the next 3 to 6 months. And as you guys know, Sony games are stacked for next generation. They got everything from Horizon Zero Dawn, Ratchet and Clank to God of War. Some amazing shit and everything in between. Gran Turismo 7, you know what I'm saying? We can keep going. On and on and on. We still got factions coming, right? That The Last of Us factions. We still got uh, Ghost of Tsushima, their multiplayer. That's still coming. Yeah, Demon Souls is a proven game, right? It's a proven game, so we know that this game here is probably going to get a 90 something Metacritic. I'll go out on a limb and say it's going to be a 90 something Metacritic. The previous games weren't graphical showpieces, but the gameplay was there for that audience. All the Soulsborne type games. And now you're looking at this big creature here with the realistic graphics and gameplay, and then the 60 frames a second. Like, with that option, yeah, you in there, you in the house. I'm there. Day one. Uh, I agree, Magnificent Black. We do need to see some Destruction All Star gameplay because guess what? That game is a multiplayer game. That's where Sony is going to have to showcase its next generation. You got a PlayStation 5. Now you're going to be playing online. That game has a potential to be like a Rocket League. Rocket League is huge for those of you guys that don't know that. BK Brooklyn Bed Style. He said 1440p. Yeah, this trailer here was shown at 1440p. Digital Foundry said they don't know what the final output's going to be, but this trailer here was encoded at 1440p. Therefore, we can assume, or there's just assumption that it's going to be a 1440p mode, and that 1440p mode could be with the ray tracing and all of that stuff. All the bells and whistles. So we'll see. Bluepoint, yeah, Bluepoint is in the bed with Sony. I think they folded them under their first party umbrella. Even Housemark, Sony bought Housemark. That's folded under the umbrella. Sony's been doing a lot of stuff, right? Not only are they, I think, Demon Souls, but rumor has it one of the studios is supposed to be working on a Sokum remake. So that's going to be interesting. That's going to be interesting. But yeah, for a lot of people that says Sony don't have multiplayer games, well, you got a whole bunch of multiplayer games now. So that excuse is out the window. You got a next generation controller with a much bigger battery. So that being a downfall is out the window. Crossplay. They was whining about crossplay. Sony gave you the crossplay. You got it. So what else will there be to cry about? This PlayStation collection right here. The best games Sony had to offer this generation for free. All you gotta do is buy a PlayStation 5. You get all of these games for free. Have fun. Play them to your heart's content. Triple J. I don't think Sony needs to buy Konami. I do think they need to buy their IPs though. I would like to see them buy the Metal Gear IP and the Castlevania IP, just like you stated. I don't. I'm one of those guys. You don't have to buy the cow if you're getting the milk for free. You see what I'm saying? It's just like Square Enix. Do Sony really need to buy Square Enix when they're already getting all of their IPs exclusive anyway? I would rather them take that extra money, right? The money that they would have if they would have bought Square Enix or Konami. Just do the marketing deals with them like you're doing now. Continue to get that shit free and take the other money and focus it towards, all of the other big third party games or this, and stuff like that. If you have a limited amount of money, a Verge, he said, turn my mic up. Hopefully y'all can hear me. Hopefully y'all can hear me. Hopefully you can hear me. But yeah, I would hope that Sony could do something like that. Continue to spend the money, but on stuff that's tangible, not the stuff that you already get. Yeah, I agree, Sam. Sony with Square Enix, man, I mean, we've been getting them exclusive bangers, man. This is we've been getting that exclusive stuff for quite a while. So that's why I feel like, well, there's no sense of spending money with Square Enix if you're already getting their games, you know. Now, somebody said the same thing about Insomniac. They were like, well, Sony, they mostly make games with Sony anyway. I was like, yeah, but you still got Sunset Overdrive. That was with Xbox. That wasn't with Sony. You see what I'm saying? So maybe Sony's like, look, man, this studio is too valuable. We got some good IPs, some brand new IPs. We want them to crank out. We trust them. Here you go. There's Spider-Man, Ratchet and Clank. Go make us some games. And they cranked them shits out within 2.5 years. That's very impressive. I do believe that $220 million they spent for Insomniac, and I will forever say that, is much more of a showpiece and showcase than spending $7.5 billion on a bunch of struggling games and developers. And that's just me. Appreciate that, Verd. Yeah, y'all hit that like button, man. Y'all hit that like button. I've been gone for a while. Just glad to see y'all rocking out with me. I got 44 people watching. Go ahead and hit the like button for me. Um, yeah, I had to get back. I had to get back in here because I saw a bunch of stuff that was just not making any sense to me, and I didn't understand. After Sony had its showcase, PS5 showcase, showing you brand new IP, giving you God of War and Final Fantasy 16 and stuff. Like PlayStation guys were crying, and I'm like, what? Then they turned around and gave you a $3.99 price tag. Like, why are you not hyping that up? Why are you not happy? They gave you the PlayStation Plus collection for free. Like, there was nothing but good that came out of that show, but I saw a bunch of crying, and I feel like, damn, it was like a damn if you don't situation with Sony. They just gave you all this shit, and PlayStation guys are crying. Why are you crying? Because the competition decided to spend money in gaming. That's their job. They're in gaming. They were supposed to spend money. You act like they bought, X-Men IP or Spider-Man IP from Sony. They didn't. We don't know what, it's going to take 4 or 5 years for them to get any IP out of that transaction. We know we'll wait then. By then, who knows? We might be sitting there with new consoles. So that's why I had to come do live. I had to catch up on some old stuff that was going down. I had to come and just kind of give you my take on stuff. It's great news that Microsoft has finally invested in the money. I still think they need something in the short term. They have no short term strategy. Everything is long term. Uh, pre-production on Forza, pre-production on Fable. They don't know what they're doing with that Everwilds game, Everworlds game, whatever, Everwilds, whatever you call it. They don't have any games that's coming anytime soon, and that's a problem. Elder Scrolls 6 may be exclusive. Okay, cool. I'll see that game in 5 years. Get it on PC. If you're a PlayStation guy, buy it on PC. If it's exclusive to to PC and Xbox, or just buy your Xbox then. By then they should have some games, you know. But in the near future, you get God of War next year. You get Horizon Zero Dawn next year. Most likely Gran Turismo 7. You get Ratchet and Clank. You get all of these games between this year and next year. That's a lot of mustard, man. That's a lot of shit. Big blank. These not small games. These are some of the biggest ever made. So I don't know. We'll see. Again, I'm not going to cry and whine over what Microsoft is doing until they have some games that'll beat Sony games. Until they have some developers that'll beat Sony developers. I'm not studying it. I'm not worried about that. Right? Not. I'm focused on the games. That's what we should focus on. We should focus on next generation and the next generation games. Do I care that three games are coming to PlayStation 4? No, I do not. Because guess what? I'll be playing it on PlayStation 5. I'm glad my fellow PlayStation 4 brethren who probably couldn't get their hands on the PlayStation 5 will still be able to play some games. You know what I'm saying? I don't want them to be without. And I'm one that believe I don't believe that if a game is not exclusive to that console that it's not a next generation game. I don't subscribe to that because next generation to Sony, right? Look at their console and what they've been promising you. What's next generation to them? Ray tracing is exclusive to PlayStation 5. 60 frames a second is pretty much exclusive to PlayStation 5. 4K, native 4K is pretty much exclusive to PlayStation 5. The DualSense controller is exclusive to PlayStation 5. All of the features from it is exclusive to PlayStation 5. So as long as PlayStation 5 is the place with the next generation features, who cares if a game gets ported down to PlayStation 4? I don't see that being a deal breaker for me. That's just me, right? That's just me. I get it. Some guys like, well, and I keep going back to this, right? Spider-Man, when you thought it was exclusive to PlayStation 5, you said it was next generation. It had the ray tracing. It was one of the best games ever. Games ever. Just man, I'm just puzzled by that. You said it was the best ever, but then all of a sudden now they're going to port a version to the PlayStation 4, and now it's not next gen anymore. Now it don't look so well. Like, come on, what are we doing? Like, come on. I get it, right? In the fanboy console war, that's what it does. That's what it do. But come on, we got to stop this crap, guys. It's okay for Microsoft to uh, to give their gamers something to look forward to in the future. It's okay. It's okay. Jim Ryan not going anywhere. Herman Hulst not going anywhere. Shuhei Yoshida not going anywhere. Aloy's not going anywhere. Kratos is not going anywhere. Them still your games. Them still your bangers. It's okay. You'll be good. It's okay. And I think with a lot of PlayStation guys, it's not okay with them because they really want Sony to fully destroy Xbox, and they want Xbox to get outside of game, to get out of gaming. I don't subscribe to that model. I want Xbox to be here. I want alternative options. Options are good for everybody. Look what happened. Look what happened with football when you took away the options. They gave us Madden, right? How did that work out when you took away the options? So we want options, and Microsoft has a lot of money. They couldn't give us dog shit forever. They eventually was going to have to shit or get off the pot. Now they decided to actually shit, and everybody's just going crazy. But hey, that's my opinion. Hey, I appreciate you guys from stopping by. Brian V, my brother. Thank you for rocking out with me. Yeah, China Hero, they definitely got a bunch of projects coming our way. That partnership between Sony and the whole gaming community in China with a bunch of their developers and stuff. Next couple of years, man, we're gonna see a lot of big stuff coming from them. Matrix, Rallo, appreciate, thank you guys. Immortal Black, thank you for rocking out with me. Brooklyn Bed Style, thank you for coming. Brown Sugar, thank you for rocking out with me. Thanks for coming checking out my channel. Hit that like button and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. I'm almost at 1,000. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate that. I'm sitting at 982. Y'all know where to find me on Twitter, Jaydub City 16. Trying to keep you guys laughing with the gifts and the means. You know what I mean? Holding it down for the for blue for Team Blue. Sam Walton. I will be doing more of these. As a matter of fact, I will be starting my own podcast. J Dub will have his own podcast coming soon. Verge, I appreciate that, man. My goal is to make y'all laugh, but also keep the truth in there. Y'all know, a lot of shit that I say has a lot of ring of truth in it. I just put it in a funny form and funny fashion, right? Appreciate that, brown sugar. Anyway, hit that like button, that subscribe. I'll see you guys on Twitter. I'll keep you laughing. Um, Verge, hey man, definitely man, I got you, brother. I got you. We definitely be chopping it up with you guys, inviting some of you guys onto the podcast. Giving your thoughts of the stuff. Right now, I'm just giving you my opinion as a gamer, as how I see it. But I'm pretty sure, you know what I'm saying. I'm gonna be chopping it with you guys, have you guys on. Tell me your opinion. It's okay to not have the same opinion as me or somebody else. I'm fine with that. So, a lot of my thinking is this is how I think. You show me what you think, and hey, if your sense make better than my sense, then hey, I may adopt it. You know what I'm saying? That's what we gonna do. Anyway, thank you guys for rocking out with me. I appreciate that. I will see you on Twitter. We're gonna keep it popping. PlayStation Nation to the world end. Peace.